Niki Demar is a YouTuber and musician who achieved internet success with her twin sister Gabi, whose music I recently classified as like the bachelorette section inside of a party store. It has a taste level that lets me know I would probably find your friends annoying. That's why I was so relieved to finally hear Niki Demar's music, which changes direction from her sister's like a path that splits in a forest fire. With interesting concepts, strong direction, and legitimate icon behavior captured on a modest budget, I was overall very impressed, and I only had minor changes that I would have suggested for Niki's music videos to help add impact to her ideas and clarify a few shots in the way that I hope she clarifies that scalp once a week. These girls love to play with funky hair colors. Let's take a bite out of Niki Demar's music videos in another installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again here on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into music videos, YouTube videos, movies, TV, and whatever else we find, and we put it in a wood chipper like it's dead wood. That way we can look at each individual piece and decide if it's worthy of being put into my wooden castle or if it goes into the incinerator to become fuel for my dungeon. Anyway, today I'm feeling really positive and happy about Niki Demar's music videos. I was very excited by the quality and the effort and the care and the success with which I felt these were all executed. But before we get into it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more clip breakdowns just like this. But most of all, if you're new here, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. Turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when we've got fresh wood chips. Today's video is sponsored by Fresh Wood Chips. No, but for real, I also have merch and a Patreon where you can get bonus content and other exclusives from me. The first video we're gonna look at today is called Anthem for the Judged, and I gotta be honest, I was a little bit like, ugh, when I first heard that title, because it's maybe just a little literal, but then I heard the vibe of it and the song itself, and I was like, oh, I like it. Plus, the video itself, I think, has a lot to admire. Let's look.
Sometimes I speak before I think. Yeah, I'm sensitive and dramatic.
Does someone want to tell Niki that everyone else in her group therapy is a plant? And she's kind of hijacking the conversation in their safe space. I noticed right off the bat, there's really strong art direction in the first few shots. There's definitely like a color story going on. Things have this sort of warm yellow tone. You see like a cohesive color. So it feels stylized, it feels intentional. I love that. And even the stuff where she's sitting on the couch, I think it's a great example of how you don't need crazy budgets to make a dressed set look really good. You know, you just kind of have to have it be natural and not distracting and not draw attention to itself.
And when I'm insecure, I get just a little bit problematic.
A little problematic like the visible light source behind you. Niki said for the background, we're gonna do plant, plant, lamp, plant, plant. I know that they put those lights in the window to kind of brighten up the thing and it gives us these lens flares and that hazy look in the room, but I would have probably gone about it a different way. I think they put a silk up, so like they're diffusing whatever light's there, but it's too close behind that silk, so I see a spotlight. If they could have pulled that light back, they would have gotten that whole thing a nice soft white and then maybe brought in 2 directional lights inside the location to give us those beams of light that are gonna hit the lens and give us a flare. But overall, I mean, like the lighting is good. It works. They're not using tons of lights either. They use what they have to make it work with the look of the video.
People say what they like, and I'm feeling their eyes follow me. But there's an army of us, and enough is enough.
Look, I know you weren't voted school treasurer or whatever, but if you put that shoe on the kitchen counter one more time, I'm gonna hobble that little ankle of yours faster than you can say homecoming. Once you see a little more of these other girls, I'm really encouraged by the level of detail they put into the production design. Clearly someone changed out all of those throw pillows and the bedspread and the lampshade even. Looks like the art behind them was even picked to match the wall, so it all works with the girl's costume. In the other bedroom, again, clearly a custom bedspread, maybe even a temporary wallpaper behind them, or they just chose a location that had walls that worked with what they were going for. Either way, these sets, they work. I love them. And we're about to get into this chorus that I really like. The choruses all slap for these Niki songs that I've heard so far.
This is an anthem for the judge. Fingers up, baby, scream it loud.
This is the part where she finds out she's been dead the whole time. All these girls wanted was a hug, and Niki said, "Is that when I terrorize your personal space?" I love the idea that she's like this encouraging force who's trying to cheer up these girls, but they can't see her at the beginning. But I wish she had more to do than just like kind of sit around them and like do this and dance near them. I also wish when we see the girls without Niki just looking sad in those first establishing shots, we could have also quickly established what was hurting them. Like maybe one of them has just been crying and she has torn up a picture of her boyfriend. Maybe one of them got a rejection letter from college and the other one is like not successful at her photography. I don't know. I can't think of 3 things all the time, okay? And in terms of her jumping around, like, and them not seeing her, I think it would be even cooler if she was making bigger things happen, because make it clear that they're not seeing her rather than she's just like unable to make them smile. Maybe she grabs a paper towel roll and runs with it like a streamer, or she throws confetti in the air in the girl's bedroom and they're still sitting there like they don't notice, and you see Niki being like, ugh, I can't get them to see that they're so beautiful or whatever. Let's see what she does with the idea.
You can please them anyway, no. We see in black, they see in white. Say we're wrong, but we don't give up.
Hello, I'm waving my middle finger in your face. Why aren't you smiling yet? The middle finger was something Gabi did a lot too. I don't know if it's as cool as these girls think it looks. It's like, okay. Ooh, know what would be cool? If Niki here was showing that she's kind of one with these girls. So when they like do this thing, if she was like dancerly kind of doing the same thing and they turn their back to her and she turns her back to them. So she's kind of mirroring them. That way it shows that like, oh, they're kind of influencing what she does. Maybe the video is about her realizing that like, oh, but when she does something happy, they like sort of start to smile too, so she can influence them back. Then maybe the song is about not just like finding your inner voice, but also togetherness with other girls who have long hair and hats on. But I'll say here, I'm not like super mad about what we're seeing on screen. It's a very effective music video as it is. Just having this story of her like trying to show them that there's more to be happy about and them slowly catching on, I think is effective in itself, but maybe these are just some ideas that would make it even bigger for no added cost.
This is an anthem for the judge. Fingers up, baby, scream it loud. You can please them anyway, no.
This is really the most inspirational home invasion I've ever witnessed. You see that one girl in the yellow bathroom start to laugh because Niki's jumping around her, and when I rewatched it, I was actually surprised that we never got a shot of the other girls breaking and smiling while Niki is like dancing around them. I would have loved if we could have seen that breakthrough happen for each of the girls, and if the breakthrough would have come from Niki reminding them what makes them so beautiful in the first place. Like the girl who's brokenhearted like ends up putting on her lipstick and being like, I don't care. Why did I do that? Oh, hi, plant. Do you guys see how big this leaf is getting? Maybe you can't see. It's face size. It's face size. But use those story elements to like close the loop and be like, oh, these girls are actually more confident than ever. Whatever was making them sad before, they decided to get off their ass about it. But all of that would have been forgiven. I just feel like the ending is really where we needed a little bit more clarity on the story, but okay, let's watch.
There's no wrong and there's no right. Do just what you like. Go on and let them judge. Hey.
I'm a little confused. Why are they all looking at her like she just said her favorite pizza topping was tampon strings? It seems like Niki was eating pizza crust and talking, and that made the other girls be like judging her, but it was impossible to know because it was just 3 girls talking silently. This time could have been better used paying off that those other girls just found their truth when they were alone. Like instead of having this pizza dispute, why couldn't Niki and all of those other 3 girls have walked into the party as a group, and maybe at first they're looking around all timid and the other girls are judging them, like those 2 girls at the table. And that way as a group, and Niki there, she's like inspiring them all to be like, don't worry girls, we got this, we're fierce. I think that would have made a little better use of the story location and the characters that they set up in this video, but it's cool, it's still cool. I still like what I'm hearing.
You wanna say they'll complain anyway.
No, ladies, don't just plunk into the water like you're hard stools. Niki, you're wearing a sheepskin coat. That's gonna absorb half the pool. For me, you can't just have Niki unceremoniously jump into the pool like that. If you're gonna ruin hair and makeup, you need to capture that in a close-up in slow motion so I can see her smiling while she goes in. And I honestly feel like they should have held off on that until a little later in the song when they all can jump into the pool on sync with the final chorus.
This is an anthem for the judge.
It was then that Sarah felt confident enough to dive into this ice-cold swimming pool when she felt the presence of her ghost father watching from afar. Who's that man? You got Slender Man at this party? See how much better it would have been if they saved that slow motion jumping into the pool for this final chorus. Imagine the girls just all walked in as a group, they felt judged, and then Niki is like, we got this, girls, watch me. And then
This is an anthem for the
splash right there. Pool party fun time, yeah. But the rest of the video is great. It's really fun. You see all the girls enjoying themselves. We've got this pretty lens flare at the pool. They go to these cutaways where all of the girls are dancing in a line, and again, I just think that would have been like sold even better if we found them all unifying at the party. But it's cool because we're ready to move on to another song that I've had stuck in my head all week long called Alone in My Car. This is a visual masterpiece in many ways. We've got some solid visual effects going on.
Now I'm alone in my car and I'm running through my thoughts. No, I need to get away cause my stomach's in a knot. Should I leave or stay?
I'm sorry, you're talking to me, sweetie? I thought your airbag failed to deploy. I was gonna call 911. Oh my god, is Niki a fellow candy clouder? We're like flat earthers, but we believe the clouds are made of cotton candy. Out of ignorance, I love that they stylized the sky with that purple color. I'm like, okay, I'm in this field. Why is she in the woods crashing a car? I don't know. I hope she sings about it.
Let your foot off the gas so we switch gears. And you're acting like you don't know. Whoa.
Actual footage of me refusing to get my oil changed until it's too late. I'm like, sometimes I prefer my air conditioner a little smoky. I want to take this moment to talk about how much more authentic Niki's music sounds in comparison to Gabi Demartino's. Like, the lyrics are a lot less cliche and they feel a lot more personal. Like, there's no other way to say it, but I'm like, oh, she's using imagery to be like, her life feels like it's out of control. I love this song. And the other song that we're gonna see next, I'm like, this is one of my favorites. So not only do these videos have like an interesting, distinct kind of idea behind them where I'm like, oh, I'm actually interested to watch this because it's something I haven't seen before and I don't know where it's going, but it's also like the music is making me feel something. So even though I'm pointing out things that maybe they could have changed in some of the videos, I'm like just shook that there's so much, like, I really love this music. I'm a stan. I'm a Niki stan right now. I think it's a great example of what can be done with a limited budget, just if you have like artistic integrity. So I'm here for it. And you know what else I am? I'm alone in my car and I'm dancing like a star and I'm running so far and everybody's going, yeah. Those aren't the real words, but I love the feeling of it.
Always down for the ride like it could last. Like it didn't matter where we go. Whoa. You're set in your ways. You say I'm to blame. For me, you won't change.
It was at this moment we decided to stand harder. If you can escape a car fire in your bra while looking glamorous, I will buy your t-shirt. That's just called being gay. Also, Niki Demar is a bicon. She came out in January 2020. Bisexual icon. We live for it. And tell me about these fire graphics, right? The CGI fire makes sense. Like, they added it to hard lines like these branches or behind the like window ledge there. I think a lot of the times where CGI fire looks fake is where it's supposed to be covering large flat areas and you're like, that doesn't seem to be burning anything. So the way they concealed it is really smart. Also, they enhanced it with light. You can see that they shined orange lights on things at certain points to sell the realism of the fire.
Now I'm alone in my car and I'm running through my thoughts. No, I need to get away cause my stomach's in a knot. Should I leave or stay?
I think you should probably leave. These woods are on fire and your blouse is fully burned off. I love that there's like a pile of burning leaves in front of her and she's like, that fire looks pretty dangerous. I wonder if I should go check it out. Should I leave or stay? I'm burning alive. I can see why she does this look. I'm actually feeling it. You say I'm to blame. For me, you won't change. See, that's pretty. That's a pretty part of the song. Said I'm alone in the car and I'm dancing really far and my hair is so red and it's curly and I'm all so pretty, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But yeah, if you're that close to a burning vehicle, you should leave, not stay. Just in case anyone out there is still wondering.
Driving down 22, I don't know what I'll find. Trying to ease my mind, should I leave or stay?
I think you should call AAA. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That shot really quick there where the smoke is spilling out in one gust under the car is so beautiful. I wish we could have gotten like a high angle wide shot of the car where that's happening all around, like whew, a skirt of smoke spilling out from under it, because it just feels very visceral and shows that this is like a metaphorical fire. And it's also metaphorical seasons because we're up to monsoon season in Niki's forest mind of her brain trees.
Street lights, are they talking. In the end, all I wanna feel is something.
Do you ever wear a wet, muddy sweater because it kind of feels like a hug? A wet demon hug from a haunted lake.
Giving all I have to give.
Yes, Nikki, work. You are radiating elite pop star energy right now. Like, that's how you get in the rain and sell a scene. She looks like she was born in a hurricane. Like, she looks sad and pensive while also wet. And I'm like, oh my God, can I get you an emergency blanket? I read Gabby Hanna for being hosed down when she was getting rained on, but this looks really natural. This whole rain scene does.
Oh, you're sad in your ways. For me, you won't change. We can't stay the same. Yeah.
This is what I think I look like when I'm in the shower for 40 minutes. I love that they gave us one more escalation for that final chorus of her plummeting into this water. Like, they got an underwater camera for this thing. It's really hard to fault these underwater shots. They even have these lovely beams of light shining through, like it's like some sort of lake or lagoon or something. I just love it. Really well done. This video makes me so happy to watch.
In a knot, should I leave or stay? Driving down 22, I don't know what I'll find.
Girl, I hope you find the thermostat. Climate change is a real issue in this mental forest of yours, isn't it, honey? I love this makeup they did with those fake snowflakes. I learned how to do that in one of my college courses. I wish they could have brought it even further, because you can also get this gel that gives you like a frostbitten look, so you look kind of beautifully glazed with ice. They could have kind of advanced it even further and made it seem like she's really freezing over. But still, really good stuff. Love the makeup change here. I didn't expect the rain to go to snow. I was really kind of, when it started, being like, oh, okay, yeah, the car is gonna get more and more burned, and that's like the thing. Because a lot of other YouTuber music videos would have just stopped there. Nikki said, no, I'm then gonna get soaking wet. I'm then gonna freeze so cold. She looked me in the eye and said, I'm gonna slide down that thermometer like a fire pole, bitch. And I'm living. I wanna go to her concert. So yeah, Alone in the Car was great. I actually love the song. It's probably my second favorite out of the 3 songs we're looking at today. This one that was coming up is my favorite. We saved the best for last. This is called Bite of Me, and this song has really been on repeat for me this whole week. Let's listen. Ooh, we've got product placement. Nikki really called up Coca-Cola and said, listen, there are lots of products that I could be hovering like Matilda, okay? You wanna see a can of Alpo dog food floating there? Again, really strong start to this music video. We get this shot of the exterior so that I know where this is all taking place. It's some sort of really cold feel to it. Soviet, I guess is the word I'm thinking of. Because then we see her being brought in by these guys in gas masks. It kind of has like the beginning of the music video Disturbia as a vibe, but it's also distinctly different because we get like this girl levitating cans, so it kind of brings in this, I guess, Stranger Things type of thing. I've never seen that, but I'm interested right off the bat. You're mixing different elements that I'm not familiar with together, so it's making me be like, ooh, what's going on here?
Awake at night, asleep all day.
Nikki, if you need to be a part of a sleep study, can we at least find you one with a more modern facility? This place has Snickers wrappers blown around like tumbleweed. Again, I love the combination of original ideas and references to other material that make this feel so fresh. We're in this cool abandoned hospital. I think that's a really neat opening shot. But then when she's singing to camera, she's like in this beautiful ring light with the fan on her. It kind of feels like an early thousands Britney Spears music video, like when she's singing to the camera in Lucky. There are other pop artists from the early thousands who would do this setup as well. It feels very specific to a certain time. But then she's got this kind of new age, neo-punk kind of costume to it, so it feels like she's mixing a lot of different things and making something that's unique to her. It's not just like, oh, that's Ariana Grande. Let me know what other bands or artists she's kind of referencing with these looks. But as the song goes on, I just love the way it builds and unfolds in this video. It feels very effective.
Everybody wants a bite of me. Everybody wants my energy, yeah. Till there's nothing really left of me. They don't want a bite of me. They don't want a bite of me. Everybody wants a bite of me.
Maybe people wouldn't want to bite you so much if your hair didn't smell like fresh baked scones. That was a cool reveal that she has this like force field power that's kind of scary, and it's like let go at the perfect time where it's like everybody wants my energy, and that's where I realized she has control of this like energy thing. So I'm into this. I also appreciate how much these two guards match. You know, they're kind of just wearing black suits with those gas masks. Maybe they could have pushed the costumes a little harder, but just the fact that they're so cohesive makes it really easy to take in. If you can't make the costume like super advanced with tons of details, just make them simple enough that they're not like distracting.
I take the beating over my breathing. Yeah, I'm unhealthy and messed up.
The only thing messed up around here are those white socks, baby girl. You think they're gonna let you get OxyClean in here? They don't even wear rubber gloves. Again, woven throughout the video, we get story. She's being dragged somewhere now. And even though it took me a few times to realize that's what's going on here, by the time you get to the end of the video, you're like, oh, I just watched a whole story unfold. My brain was never like, how do we get from point A to point B? So it's not just flashing from one random visual to a next. It feels cohesive. I like cohesion. If you are not cohesive, then you ain't here to party. Ladies, gentlemen, something, something, a fire's in the room.
Everybody wants a bite of me. Everybody wants my energy, yeah. So there's nothing really left to me, 'cause they don't want a bite of me. Everybody wants a bite of me. Everybody wants my energy.
Wait, how come my dentist never has me take my pants off and lay down? Must be part of the Platinum Health Plan? Great deals introducing this setup where she's laying back on a table. First of all, the set dressing of that other room is smart. Like those panels of brain scans, it feels very medical while also being like something that's a lot of negative space that takes up your frame without being cluttered. And when they dolly in to show us it through the window, they had an extra pass in front of it. That's just like good choreography of your actors. They only had like 2 extras for this whole thing, it seems like, but they made it kind of feel like a busy place. And then the performance takes that they keep going to are in this cool room with the backlighting, and it's a low angle, so it feels very like separate from the other action we're seeing. It's working. I just love all the pieces together.
I'm tired of staying the same way.
Hi, Evanescence, you're canceled garbage now. The escalation, the commitment, the performance, it's all so good. Like, you really feel it in her voice. You can hear it in the vocal recording. You can see it in her performance on camera. The story itself is hitting like this electrical crescendo. I just feel like it's really thoughtful, and I'm so here for it. Niki. And then, like you know I love, we really hammer it home for a new visual on the 3rd chorus, or the final chorus. So it's something new to look at, and it kind of brings home this whole message of like people sucking her dry.
Everybody wants a bite of me. Everybody wants my energy, yeah. So there's nothing really left to me.
Wow, this is making me feel really bad for all those Capri Sun pouches I've abused. Cool visual, right? With those like red tubes. It's like, what is that coming out of her? There's something mischievous. This whole video feels like it's pulling stuff from other places like accessible to me in pop culture, like X-Men and the New Mutants, the Magicians, all this stuff that I haven't seen but like I'm aware of. But it also feels like its own thing. Like say I wanted to make a music video that adapted this one from Niki Demar, and I was like, oh, I also want to make a song that's sort of about how people suck their energy out of me. I wouldn't just look at this and be like, okay, so then I also have tubes connected to me that are also blue. I might be like, okay, so I'm kidnapped by a vampire cult and they're holding me hostage and just using me as a human blood farm. Whatever your idea is, but you have to make it different. Don't just look at your reference and copy, look at your reference and improve it somehow by customizing it to your narrative, to your story, to how you feel. And if you don't feel a certain way, ask yourself, why are you borrowing those visuals? Just because they look trendy? Or do you feel like they're effective in telling what you want to tell? Niki's feels really intentional and really effective.
Tired of staying the same way.
I'm just gonna say it, this hospital has a weird policy about group sex. All of this tubing is not natural.
They don't want a bite of me.
They said there's no escape. We're gonna switch your hair color again. No, the cuticles are lifting. What do you guys think of these Niki Demar videos? Do you see what I see in that they're really effective for their low budget? And the notes that I had were pretty much just like tweaking the way that they worked within those confines that they already set up. So I was very impressed, but I wanna know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you wanna see clip breakdowns on even more YouTube videos like this or music videos. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when I'm committed to a creepy mental hospital, and I'm gonna vlog from there. Also, I have merch you can check out and a Patreon where you can sign up for exclusive bonus content and other benefits. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you for taking a bite of me today. I will see you next time.